get into our first topic with Mr. Grimm. This was kind of a breaking news, well, not really breaking news, but he added it at the last minute. So let's get into this, Grimm. So what about television?
This is more like a let's laugh at some stupid people stuff, okay?
Right.
Because what is happening here? So could you bring the thing up and I'll talk about like the article. So
the Intellivision.
The whole article. Yeah, I'm gonna. Because reading through the whole article would be annoying. I would suggest if you want to read through it, but I'm just going to give you some highlights. Okay, so this guy, I know him as Tallarico. I think it's Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, he's an awesome musician. He does a lot of the music for games and stuff.
He has some brain damage here. I'm going to hit you with some highlights that he put about. Most importantly, however, is what you won't see in the Intellivision. This is from the article. Number 1, violent video games. If there's any violence at all and it can't be rated E for everyone, it's not allowed on our console. End of story.
Wow.
Complicated games. If you can't explain the game in under 10 seconds, and it needs a manual, it's not welcome on our system. Third, 3D games will not be allowed on this system. We're not trying to compete with Nintendo. We're trying to make our own games. We expect the developers to follow these rules along with others. Some of the other rules... a second, because there's a lot more to it. I'm just having trouble finding all this. No ports at all. Game has to be made ground zero for that system or it's not welcome. Alright? There was another really funny one. Oh, this is how delusional this guy is. Every game in their quality mind must be at least a 7 out of 10. And if you make a game, when it gets done, they get to quality test it, and if they don't feel it's up to their standard, you can't release the game. Now explain to me how they even remotely expect any devs to take any chance on making games for this thing. Also, they want to mimic the controller from the original ColecoVision.
Yeah,
and there's their problem right there.
Well, yeah, and not to mention that just like telling a developer you can only develop for our system is like insane nowadays. No developer is going to go, yeah, no, I'm only going to... Like, that's like for an advertising company or something going, oh, guess what? You can only post on this one site here. You can't advertise anywhere else. Like, they're not going to do that. Nobody's going to do that.
You got all these people on the list bringing up stuff like, all right, say they think the game is a 7 out of 10, so they put it on the store, and then all the reviewers give it a 5 out of 10. Do they have to pull it off their store because nothing below a 7 gets on their store? Or the only reviews matter are the ones that they do?
Yeah, right, yeah. That's probably how it is.
It's the most arrogantly stupid thing I've ever seen in my life. And I like Tommy Tallarico. I've watched his games live concerts on YouTube and stuff. I like game music. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I believe there was a reference in here somewhere. It was like 7 to 10. Not 7 to 10. It was like 4 over 10 bits or something like that. As they were referencing like tech.
So every game has to be a top-down or a side-scroller because they don't want 3D. So Ben's favorite system, all right, my favorite genre, and the controller has to mimic a scroll wheel with 2 buttons.
A terrible controller.
Oh, and like eight number pads or whatever.
Yeah. If anybody who actually had an Intellivision, like, I used to actually plug a Sega Genesis controller into mine.
Like, I honestly, I feel like they saw Atari's idea and it was like, here, hold my beer. Like, that was the most retarded idea you've heard with the Atari one. And then Tommy went up and went, hang on, bro, I got this. Hold my beer. This is our idea.
Yeah.
We took a poop. Do you want to buy it? Like, that's literally what it sounds like.
So is the controller
dumpster fire?
Is the controller gonna have like a card that you put on it to know what the key buttons do?
I didn't read the entire article. I just looked at the highlights of all the stuff.
Yeah.
In this day and age,
stuff that they were talking about.
Shark.
In this day and age, if they didn't have a digital readout screen at this point, then it's really not worth making it. But
look at that. Like, is that a direction pad or a scroll wheel?
Like, what's the idea? You want to make Intellivision games? Good luck. Nobody plays these old Atari and Intellivision. Don't look anywhere good enough to people to play them anymore. They may mess around with them, but no one's buying new systems to get a new pitfall.
Yeah, they're like a nostalgic go back.
Yeah. Hey, I do play my Flashback 8.
Every single day?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You may play a Flashback once in a while, but you're not going out to buy a new system to play new versions of those games. You won't. You can say you will, Nate, but I guarantee you within a half an hour you'll be like, this sucks. because the reason why you play those old ones is because of the nostalgic feeling you get from them.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want like a new Pitfall. You're not gonna go, oh my god, new Pitfall, amazing. You're gonna go, oh my god, new Pitfall. Why didn't they fix all the problems with the old Pitfall? And that's the reality of nostalgia. I've been figuring this out as I go because like I love old NES RPGs, but if they made a new regular NES RPG, I would probably get frustrated within minutes because I'd be like, why didn't you fix all these problems from the original style of these games?
Well, people do actually. They do homebrews. A lot of people make them, and they put them on actual cartridges for you to play on your
Which
NES.
is fine.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
But the people who are playing them tend to be new people, not nostalgic older gamers. That's what I'm saying. Like, this has no market. It's dead in the water, just like the Atari is, and I think it's laughable.
Once again, it's gonna have to be a thing that costs like $100.
The way he was talking makes it even worse because he's like talking like if it's violent, I don't want it on my system. Dude, who do you think you are, man? You're making a system that literally nobody's asked for, and you think you can dictate to these devs that they can't make certain games on it? You're just asking to be laughed right out of the business.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You don't have that kind of clout. You would have to be Sony to walk in and go, hey, look, no games over rated M18. Nothing higher than 18.
Actually,
and then even then, people would probably laugh at you in the industry, but they would be the only people with that much clout, given how big their systems are, to even chance that kind of idea.
Yeah, actually, you'd have to be Nintendo during the Super Nintendo era, which kind of almost did at some point. So.
Yeah, and people laughed, and devs didn't make any games remotely like that. Like, Mortal Kombat was the only game that came out on it, and they screwed that.
Yeah. So
like devs made those games for Sega, and it kind of opened the door for Sega, and that's how Sega got a foothold in the industry. So in a way, it didn't work at all.
Well, the games came out, like, they got rid of blood in Mortal Kombat and some other games, but the devs put secret codes in so you can put the blood back in. So
but what I'm saying is, like, Sega put itself out there as, we're not your kid's system.
Yeah.
And it worked. Nintendo's stupid strategy actually didn't work. Sony buried them with the "this ain't for kids, grow up" thing. So it actually didn't work when they did that. Nobody can thump their chest like that and get away with it.
No, not even close.